Hello, my name is John. I'm the curator of the Small Artefacts Museum at the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. Welcome to a selection of interesting items from the gallery. It was necessary for railwaymen of grades such as drivers and guards to possess accurate timepieces, particularly after the introduction of standardized time throughout the country. Watches had to be accurate and reliable, which meant they were beyond the means of people with modest incomes. Hence the practice grew of railways issuing watches to appropriate employees. Examples shown are from English, American and Swiss makers over a period of many decades. The age of this board is uncertain, but the painted wording clearly dates from after the closure of the direct route from Newport to Sandown in 1956. Prior to that date, the shortest route to Ventnor would have been via Merston. Although most of the Isle of Wight Railway's refreshment rooms were not commercially viable, surviving silverware shows how much care was taken with it. The ornate, ewer-shaped milk jug made by Collis & Co. of Birmingham predates 1888, when the makers were bought out. And in complete contrast is the tiny cream jug by Elkingtons, which depends for its effect on the infinitely subtle proportions. Ventnor suffered from the poor location of its two stations. One involved a severe climb for those using it, while the other required a long walk from the town centre. In order that potential passengers for Ventnor Town, later known as Ventnor West, did not give up on the long trudge, signs like this were provided strategically. Thus they were encouraged to feel they had not lost their way. Picture a bitterly cold January in 1891. Passengers were coming from all over the country to the island, many of them for health reasons. They had been nice and snug on the mainland carriages, but when they got to the Isle of Wight Railway, there were no foot warmers, and they were bitterly cold when they got to Ventnor, so much so that many complaints were made. The item you're going to see now probably results from the Isle of Wight Railway having to rather quickly remedy this by foot warmers in their carriages. Before the advent of steam or electrical carriage heating, some relief from winter cold was gained by the use of carriage foot warmers. Now, this example from the Isle of Wight Railway would have been filled with hot water or possibly soda acetate crystals. The limited effectiveness of these devices was aggravated by a Victorian fashion for wearing rubber-soled shoes which could stick to the foot warmers as they cooled.